Hello everyone, welcome to the United Stand. Welcome outside Old Trafford as we are looking ahead to the new season. I'm pleased to say Rick is back. Rick, I've missed you, mate. It's been a long summer, mate. It's been a long summer. First of all, how are you doing, mate?
Fantastic, mate. Had a great summer as it happens.
Been travelling around quite a bit, a few destinations.
Quite a bit. I went to Australia. I made 2 games in Australia. Sorry I didn't hook up with you, but I've got a few mates out there, so I had a few too many beers at times.
You got mates everywhere, mate. That's what it is. That's what it is. Yeah, so when looking ahead, Rick, it's been a long pre-season. Hot topics, first of all. I hate to start with a negative, but that's all that seems to be surrounding the club right now. Ronaldo obviously has been the main topic on every journalist list. We spoke about it a lot while being on tour. Ronaldo, for you now in the situation and what's broken down, what you've seen so far, ideally for United going forwards, what do you think is best right now? Do you think leave, try and terminate the contract? Do you think try and hold on to it? Will he work well in the Ten Hag setup that you've seen already? Where are you seeing it right now?
Personally, if you're to believe everything that you read about him really demanding to leave, he's desperate to leave, isn't he? And I think if he's desperate to leave, I think we need to let him go. We are desperately short of strikers. Martial's played well in the pre-season at number 9, but if Ronaldo was to leave, we'd only have the one striker really. I don't like Rashford at 9, not keen on him on the left, but I don't like him at 9 at all. So we but even if we keep Ronaldo and Martial, we need another striker. So if he goes, we need 2 strikers. But at the same time, what's interesting is the style of play that Ten Hag has been playing on the trip with Martial at number 9, who's the type of striker who holds it up well and passes it well, arrives in the box late. Maybe he should score more goals. Maybe he doesn't get as many goals because he is so good at coming short for the ball, and then he's not quick enough to get back in the box. Because he comes out of the box, he lays it out to the wingers or the full-backs who are overlapping, then he's running into the box. We could do with a striker who's going to stay in the box. Maybe him and Ronaldo would be a good pairing. Maybe it'd be a good pairing, but whether he'd pair them both together, I don't know. If he wasn't going to pair them both together and then Martial remained his favourite number 9, how's that going to go down with Ronaldo? I could imagine it being a bit of a bad apple.
This is the question. This is where the depth of the question comes into it, because we've seen Martial and basically not do well when he's got competition for his spot. When he's the number 1 man, we've seen the best seasons from Martial, that's quite clear. Do you feel like the power of Ronaldo would disrupt that? I look at it as a big problem for Ten Hag to handle, like you just mentioned there, but Ronaldo coming back in, he's going to demand playing. Yes. And if he's only going to play the free, Martial looks like the one who would drop for that. That, for me, is the biggest problem of all, because like you said, and it's plain to see Martial has taken to Ten Hag, the set-up, the way they're playing between Sancho, Rashford and Martial, Bruno behind, and that extra midfielder pushing on. Do you feel like Ten Hag, this is a chance now for him to actually just say, look, no, doesn't matter who you are, you can stay at the club if you want to stay at the club, but you go by my rules. Martial has trained all pre-season. This would be a big statement, wouldn't it, on Ten Hag's part, if he put Martial ahead of the likes of Ronaldo?
In football, obviously you've got to take it game by game. So it's all right saying putting Martial ahead of Ronaldo. Without any shadow of a doubt, Martial's got, I'm assuming he's fit, by the way. He came off with a knock last time he played, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if he's not fit, by the way, for the first game. But Martial, he's going to start this week, so straight away, Ronaldo's not starting. And Ten Hag's already said he's not fit enough. So if it goes well, and obviously we all hope it goes well, if it goes well, then he keeps his place for Brentford. And if it goes well again, he keeps his place for Liverpool. And to be fair, our recent results against Liverpool, 5-0, 4-0 and 4-1, I think the last 3 defeats against Liverpool, really speaking, it wouldn't matter how it went against Liverpool, he could still keep his place. Do you know what I mean? So I think right from the off, Martial is going to have the place, and it's a case of how it goes from there. I don't think he's going to. I mean, I've just said maybe Martial and Ronaldo would play well together. I believe in a 4-4-2 they would play well together, because you got Martial coming short, looking for the ball, laying it to the wingers. Ronaldo trying to stay in the box, win the headers. In
4-4-1-1 as well in that, and one dropping off.
Exactly, but Martial, believe it or not, then he's in Bruno's position. That's where he'd be, because you two midfield players.
Good point. Well, actually, a really good point on that, because Ten Hag in this whole summer, no matter what the position and what the actual formation, he's played one holding player.
Yeah.
So would that free up a likes of a Bruno or a Donny to play an 8 roaming, coming in behind, not necessarily having to play the 10, but Martial drop off Ronaldo stays as the 9, then with the wingers feeding them.
I think if you've got two, there's different types of number 10s. If Ronaldo's going to play at 9 and Martial's going to play, call it 4-4-2, but Martial would be the one who's dropping deep to look for it. So it's like 4-4-1-1. Exactly. So if Martial is playing as like a number 10, I don't think you can afford to have another player. This is the problem we had all last year under Solskjaer. Too many attacking players. You're leaving yourself open to let your 3s and your 4s and your 5s in. We let 4s and 4s against some poor teams, let alone good teams, because we had too many attacking players. So if Martial's going to play at 10, I think your 2 central midfield players, you need your 2 wingers obviously, then your 2 central midfield players have got to have more defensive acumen than Bruno. Got to have. Eriksen could maybe do it. He's also an attacking player, but I just think he's a bit better defensively.
That's the point.
So I'm thinking McTominay. From what we've got at the minute, obviously I'm desperate. I mean, I've just heard news, like I think you said, didn't you, that Chelsea might be jumping the gun now and getting
I know.
De Jong. But if we can get De Jong, that'd be fantastic. But if we haven't got De Jong at the minute, I'm afraid
we're stuck.
Am I missing anyone? It's going to be McTominay and Fred.
It will
be McTominay and Fred, Martial at 10 and Ronaldo at 9. That's if he's going to do that, but I don't think he will do that.
He won't do that. That's the thing, isn't it? It's like on what you just said there. You talked about it many times last season about too many attacking players. There may be a point for you, Rick, this may hurt you, but the way Ten Hag is set up in pre-season, it looks like we're accepting we're going to lose possession of the ball, we're going to lose and isolate certain defenders. There's not going to be much backing up from the midfield for the defence. They're going to be asked to defend as one-on-one a lot, sacrificing defence for attack, it would seem. We score many, but we are going to concede a lot. Ultimately, he's going to need time to implement his system and then bring players in gradually over the years. Do you feel like patience is massive right now for the whole fan base to get behind this? Because there are going to be times, in my opinion, mate, where I think we're going to get tonks this season. That's how it seems to me.
Patience is important. Of course it is. It might not go great. Excuse me, straight from the off. But McTominay and Fred have played every game that they've been fit. I think Fred started every game.
Yes.
Don't count the Rayo Vallecano game. That was a reserve lineup. Yep. We've had 5. In my book, we've had 5 first team friendlies and we've had a reserve team friendly. True. In the 5 first team friendlies, Fred started every game.
Yes.
McTominay, in my belief, has started every game he's been fit for.
He's got injured a couple of times.
He missed a couple injured. Yeah. So I think McTominay and Fred are his first choice central midfield players at the moment. So getting back to what you said about get used to too many attackers, doesn't look like it's going to be that way to me.
I think because McTominay predominantly was an attacking player as a youth player. I've seen on pre-season in them, he has been more advanced than Fred. Fred has been sat on his own in front of that defence. Whether you think the personnel in them positions should change or what, they are going to be them too. But one is going to be predominantly higher. There's a 5-pronged man attack. Very similar to, I remember Louis van Gaal was very strict. He had a 4 or 5 man attack and no one else went forward. He was very, very, very strict on who he actually played in that attacking role. It does look very similar with Ten Hag, but it looks a little bit more extravagant on the Ten Hag. And I suppose the question is, Rick, it's like the fan base is going to have to accept that we are going to concede a lot of goals. Unless we do bring a midfielder in who is a master at that position, it could be more pain like it was last season in terms of the Fred and McTominay combination.
It could happen. What I will say is, and I mentioned this many times on the shows, going back to the beginning of last year when we were getting tongs pretty heavily, the 2 wide players were Greenwood and Rashford. I've said many times, especially Greenwood, he's a centre forward playing on the wing. We were leaving too many players up the field who weren't getting back quickly enough, and the team shape, when the opposition had the ball, the team shape wasn't good enough. So I think Sancho is another one who's played every game when he's been fit on the right. He's a proper winger. So
Ten Hag playing Sancho on the right,
I like him on the right. So Sancho will get back. I think the team shape when we defend him will be better. Obviously Rashford's still in on the left. I don't think he'll keep his place too long. I don't think he's playing well enough.
To be honest on that, mate, I mean Rashford has been putting a lot more defensive work in. You can see it. Alanga's not really set the world alight on pre-season either. That's a concern, the left-hand side. On that in terms of like transfers going forward, do you feel we've talked about midfielders? I think we need 2 for cover. Forwards though, the type of forward we need, is it an out and out 9? Do you feel Martial can hold that? But if Ronaldo then leaves, do we go all in on that forward? I mean, we're stuck between the two. We need that specialist forward and we need that specialist midfielder.
Look, we're not going to, I can't see us signing 3, 4, 5 players, you know. So for me, if we can only sign 2 players, it'd be one more midfield player, which I'm hoping is De Jong, by the way.
Yes,
you know,
true.
let's see what happens there. So I'm hoping we get one more midfield player, and whether Ronaldo stays or not, we desperately need another striker. Yeah. If he throws his toys out of the pram because he's not playing regular, that could still happen. Do you know what I mean?
And now the window could be shut by then, mate. And then Ten Hag's got that nightmare again, which it looked like was happening with Ralph Rangnick. The players didn't really get behind it. And someone with power like Ronaldo can then really cause a problem behind the scenes. It really could. I mean, transfers that we have done so far, Rick, are you happy with what we've brought in from what you've seen? Do you mean we've not seen much of Martinez yet, but Eriksen, you know all about Eriksen. Is that your type of player? You think he can do a role?
Eriksen's class, he'll get more.
I knew you'd
time.
like Eriksen.
He will get game time, lots of it. I'm hoping he takes Bruno's place at 10 for now. I knew
you was going to say that.
I know I just spoke about Martial could play that role if Ronaldo's at 9, but if Ronaldo's at 9, if Martial's at 9, I would like to see Eriksen get a game at 10.
What do you reckon about deeper for Eriksen as well?
Well, I've just said that he could do that. He could do that. But whose place would he take? Fred's or McTominay's? I'm not too sure.
Down to 10, isn't it?
He's a better player than both of them, but they've still both got a little bit more defensive mindedness in them than he has. He's more of an attacking player.
I suppose that all comes down to how Ten Hag approaches games. If he's going with the offensive mindset, he's sacrificing that defensive outlook, isn't he, in a way? Do you reckon that's why he's brought in the type of defender like Martinez, who's more of a ball playing centre back, who can actually control the game? I mean, I don't think our current centre backs are the best on the ball, personally. I know Martinez is well known for having that. Do you think that's the way he's going? We're going to play the higher line. We've seen De Gea play a lot more sweeper keeper in pre-season as well, which he's not usually used to. You can see him, you can see what he's trying to do, but like I said, I do think it's going to take a little bit more time there. But does that fill you with confidence that we're actually looking like we've got a sort of plan going forward? There's a structure sort of there, building slowly but surely.
He's definitely building towards that, because he sat Martinez. Look, I only saw him once the other day. I've never seen him, but never watched him before. He looked class. There was one ball played across the field by from the right. I think it was from the right back Dalot, and it was ridiculously high. And it was well wide of him, and he took it down like one matter, if you like. You know what I mean? He looked like a piece of class to me, Martinez, as a footballer. So he is definitely going to. He's going to be one of his defenders, playing good passes into the midfield players, and he's desperate to sign De Jong. De Jong can then get hold of it and pass it into the 10.
Yes.
And it's about getting vertical passes in like that. And then maybe when you hit your 10, there's that many options for there. It could be Eriksen, it could be Van der Beek, because I'm amazed at the lack of game time that Van der Beek's had. When I say game time, they've all had lots of game time, but he hasn't played with the first choice 11 hardly at all.
Yeah, he had a start against, I think it was Aston Villa when McTominay was injured, and that first half we were 2-0 up.
But that was probably because McTominay was injured.
It was, but it showed you though that we still had the control of the game with Van der Beek in, that too as well. But he has played him when he has played in that 2, but more of an 8 going forward, leaving the one man behind.
I don't know if you saw the interview that he did. I can't remember when it was exactly, but he was asked about Van der Beek and can he play as a 6 or an 8, and his answer was yes, he can play as a 6 or an 8, but his best position is just behind the striker.
It has,
So he's basically saying his best position is number 10. Now he's a player that's played for him. He's reached the Champions League semi-final with him playing for him.
Is that why you're surprised he's not had
I'm
more of a chance?
stunned that he hasn't had a chance yet in the first choice 11, in Bruno's position. Even the manager himself has said that it's his best position. So
this is what we want from the manager. I mean, when I say patience, the fan base has got their favourite players who they like to see more. We have to trust in the manager that he's going to do what you said at first, which you talked about Ronaldo not coming in ahead of Martial. If Martial's playing well, same goes for Bruno, Eriksen, Van der Beek. If one of them is doing better, he deserves that run of games in the team. Now, obviously, we don't know how it's going going to go with Ten Hag yet, but ultimately to go forward, you feel like that is the only way we are going to progress. Forget about the names, play the best team 100%. That's working at that time.
100%. He's got to forget about names. I think Bruno is getting too much respect because of what a good season he had, or how many goals he scored and how many assists he got in his first 8 or 12 months, however long it was, which has stopped happening, by the way. I don't think he's got a goal or an assist, has he, in pre-season?
I think he's got a couple of, I think it was a couple of assists maybe, but no goals, definitely not. But it was, like you said,
shouldn't matter.
No.
I'm saying that when really in my book that doesn't matter that much. But the reason I'm making that point is the people that love Bruno were always banging on about the amount of goals he scored. So now he's not scoring goals, and in my opinion he's not playing well either. He's giving the ball away too much still. So I would like to see Eriksen or Van der Beek get a run at number 10. Like you've said, he's got to forget about names like Ronaldo's name, Bruno's name, and if he thinks somebody can do a job there, I mean, look, he signed Eriksen. What a player Eriksen is. We don't need to, it's clear what a good player he is.
He knows him well.
Plus, he's a set-piece merchant, which is Bruno's job. Do you know what I mean?
We've seen that already in pre-season. He's gone on to corners. He's took free kicks as well, so that's a good sign. I don't care who takes the free kicks personally, as long as they're the best in that area. But we've seen Ten Hag move Bruno out to the left and bring Eriksen in. Now, where would you sit with that? Or are you one for not moving players out of position too far to make weight?
I like proper wingers playing on the wing because I do think they get back more naturally, as I've said about when Greenwood was playing out there. I like Sancho there. I'm not keen on Rashford. I think Elanga looks a better prospect to me than Rashford, and I even like the look at, I've only seen him once the other day, but I like the look of Garnacho on the left the other day.
I said that
looks
myself,
a quality
mate.
player. He's only 18, I think, isn't he?
Yes.
I wouldn't mind one little bit. Elanga starting on the left and Garnacho on the bench. I wouldn't mind it one little bit.
5 subs, mate, this season, so plenty of options.
I thought Elanga got a bit of a raw deal off the referee the other day. He got fouled left, right and centre. I've not seen it again. I'd like to watch it again. But to me, he got fouled quite often when he did get the free kick given, and it crossed my mind, was the referee fed up of giving him free kicks? You know what I mean?
Mate, no, you're right. I was at that. We was at that game, and it was well documented. And a lot of people were talking about it in the stands as well. But looking ahead, Rick, now with what we have got. Looking what the other teams have built around. First of all, in terms of that top 4, who are you going with for that top 4? What's your prediction in terms of the managers that are there, the teams that they've got? From what we've seen last season, there's a lot of strength ahead of us, I think, right now.
Yeah, of course there is,
First of all, the top 4, are we getting in it, in your opinion? And who do you think is going to be that top 4 this season?
It's going to be tough, obviously. City and Liverpool are definitely in it.
1-2.
Without any question. I would apart from the fact that there's too many good sides, I would also nail me out on Spurs, but because I think he's going to strengthen. They finished 12 points ahead of us last season. Spurs didn't we beat them twice?
Yeah, we did, mate. Somehow we beat them twice.
We beating Spurs twice, and they finished 12 points ahead of us as well.
Shows exactly where we went wrong, doesn't it?
Staggering that is staggering. So finishing above Spurs is going to be a tall order. So there's another one. Then you've got Chelsea, Arsenal. It's going to be tough, mate, but we've got to get off on the right footing. He needs to get his team right from the off. You've got to take it big, game by game. A home game against Brighton, as good as Brighton are, they're a really, really good side. Don't care if it's 1-0.
Mate. I was there last season.
Don't care if it's 1-0. We've got to win this first game.
I agree. I totally agree. Points are more important than form right now at this stage of the season.
I think he'll think like that.
He has mentioned that, actually. He has said, look, at the end of the day, it all comes down to result. No matter how well we play and how nice it looks, still you're going to be down with 0 points instead of 3, or 1 instead of 3. It's all about getting points on. In terms of United's position for you, where can you see it being? And do you feel like, because of the strength of the Premier League, the fact that we're in the Europa League and it is an avenue in to the Champions League is something we need to take seriously this season?
Definitely.
Europa League.
Yeah, I think we're well capable of winning it as well.
I do.
Well capable of winning it. He can't put all his eggs in one basket, but certainly as the Europa League goes on and on, we'll get more of a feeling if we're doing well enough in the Premier League to be in the top 4. I do think he's got the capabilities of a player that he can get top 4, really do. but it just is tough that there's that many other good sides.
That is it, mate, that is it. Another one, signing of the summer so far for you, and in what team it is. Who's your standout player to look out for this season going ahead?
What, for any team?
Yeah, any team in the league, mate. Who is it? Who's the standout?
I can't think off the top of my head about other teams. I'll tell you what did impress me. I'm not saying it's necessarily the signing of the summer, but I was very impressed with Newcastle signing Nick Pope. I'm a massive fan.
Nick Pope.
Massive fan of Nick Pope.
Done good business.
Especially for what they give for him, which I can't quite remember, but I don't think it was more than about 12 or 14 million or something.
Took advantage of Burnley's situation there big time. But there's a team that said, then, mate, we're talking about
even
teams. Newcastle, yeah.
Even Newcastle, yeah.
Could well be. We're looking at 6 teams that we're fighting with rather than the usual 4. That's where we've dropped down. That's where the standards have dropped down. It is going to be a tough season, mate. It really is. But looking ahead, are you actually looking forward to seeing the season? How are you feeling right now in terms of like excitement for the season going in? Are you sort of scared or?
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I can't wait for Sunday. And I'm just desperate. I've got no doubt in my mind that Eriksen's either going to start or he's going to get 30 or 35 minutes. I got fed up with Ollie, giving people run-outs for the last 5 minutes and the last 4 minutes and rubbish like that is pathetic. And I don't think we're going to see that with this man. I think if somebody deserves a run-out, I think they'll get a run-out. So I think we'll see a bit of Eriksen on Sunday, whether he starts or not.
That's it. There you go, guys. Ricky's looking forward to this season. He's excited. He wants to see Eriksen. He wants to see more of Donny van der Beek. We didn't even get into Dalot. We'll talk about that next time because I know he likes him as well. But that's it, guys. Let us know what you think. Drop down in the comments below. Obviously, give the video a like and obviously subscribe to the United Stand. 1.4 million. I keep telling you.
Wow.
1.4 million. Anyway, me and Ricky are going to be back all the way through the season, and let us know what you think of Ricky being back on the show as well. He's back. Let's see it. See you later, people.